Hey, what's up? I'm Guy.
I'm John.
This is our YouTube channel. Subscribe to the channel. Give this video a like.
Also, check out our podcast below in the description. Talking a lot of golf, also a lot of NFL, gambling, fantasy, you name it, we're on it all.
This video brought to you by DraftKings. Promo code HAM. Also below in the description, the link to our game. Get in it. Try and win HAM, the PGA Championship this week. John, the game is huge.
Yeah, 150 people. Download the app. If by the time you watch this, it's full, I mean, that's just what happens. We got a lot of people wanting in this game. Download the app, promo code HAM. You can get in future games. We keep you on a mailing list. The NFL's not that far away. We play a lot of fantasy. I can't wait for the PGA Championship. Thanks to DraftKings for being a partner. Download the app, promo code HAM. I mean, what's this, our 7th straight game since the restart?
Yeah, 8th.
8th. So yep. HAM match 8.
Tell your friends. We love playing DraftKings. We also love playing at Harding Park, where we've played last year, where we played 2 months ago. The fairways were narrow. The rough was thick. It's had some beautiful days. We took our promo code handballs out there. Maybe Bryson will find one in the rough. They're out there somewhere. We left a few balls on the course. Tiger Woods got out to practice, John. He did not play last weekend in Memphis. Instead, he came out to San Francisco and played on Sunday. It was cold. It looked windy. It looked overcast. Tiger is always a great pick in majors, but you and I saw him last year at Pebble Beach where it was similar conditions, and we made a decision then, you and I both, and we've talked about this a lot. Cold weather, bad back, rough, thick rough. I don't think he's a great pick this week.
Wasn't there a famous philosopher that said the coldest winters of summer in San Francisco?
Well, that quote has been debunked, but yes, I think it was a famous author.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it's one thing that can't be disputed is summers in San Francisco can be chilly. And you get the right day,
Twain,
it can be really
coldest winter was the summer in San Francisco. Yeah.
It can be really cold. The wind, the fog. I think there is just, when you experience humidity, it's like sitting in a steam room meets a sauna. It's just really hot. It's the opposite sometimes in the Bay Area, and I think Monterey is like this too. The fog is cold, and then the wind's coming. It feels extra chilly. And we love Eldrick Tiger Woods. Who doesn't? He's, in my opinion, the greatest golfer ever. It's a huge, huge challenge to keep that back, which he just said a couple weeks ago at Memorial that, like, it sucks getting old. He said that. And I don't know from day to day what this – now, he said this over time.
He said it last year at Pebble. He said it at Pebble.
And we know it. Yeah, it's just – I would love for him to just make the cut. I would say initial gut reaction would be – it will be an upset for him to make the cut unless it's just beautiful couple days. And we know we're recording this on a Monday. Weather reports around here can change pretty drastically. Like that could easily be 63. It could be a high on Thursday. And we don't know as we're recording this the tee times, but we know that he's going to have to play one of the 2 mornings.
And mornings from a wind perspective are a little better, but then you have to deal with a little more cold. So there really is no salvation at either group.
Yeah, to me, I have more confidence in him in a wind with sun. No issues with Tiger. It's the fog and a cold day of like 61, where, as you know, I would say a 61 in the Bay Area sometimes can feel like low 50s. Like it can feel really, really chilly even without the wind. It's going to be tough for Tiger. I think there's a reason that he took last week off because he knew he needed to save all his bullets for this gun. And there's a chance that, I mean, we would love to get him to pass Jack, but I would not count on this one being one of them.
No. Another guy Tiger's won here before, though. He won a WGC event here, and he played here as a kid. The course is they've redone the course since then. Rory won a WGC event. He beat Gary Woodland. John, I mean, I know Gary's burned you a couple times. Rory is playing maybe more solid than people realize, but so Gary's played here before, played well. He won at Pebble, similar conditions last year. Maybe one of those two guys. And Rory, John, it's like Ireland out here. A little warmer. He can handle it.
Yeah, I mean, Guy, he's one of the best drivers of the golf ball in the world, hands down. That's not even arguable. He's, like you said, he's played here before. He was terrible in the opening round last week, shot 75. I think he was 6 under the rest of the weekend. He has played well. I mean, you can shoot yourself out of a tournament, but his game, his ability to drive the ball in the fairway, which is going to be key here, and when he's on, probably no one strikes the ball as well. I would say he's been pretty rusty coming back, but this guy's going to win more majors, Guy. Like, it's not like Jordan Spieth where you're like, is he still that good? Like, Rory, everyone says, like, Every single golfer goes, yeah, he's probably the most talented guy. Like, that's him. So it's just when he's on, like, it would not shock me in the slightest to be like, oh, yeah, Rory has a 4-shot lead going to Sunday. Right. So, I mean, I think he would be a solid. I don't think you can go wrong with him as a pick. Though, if you just look back since the restart, he's been pretty hit or miss and more miss than hit.
A guy who was hit 2 weeks ago, and then a guy who's been hit a couple times so far in the restart. For those of you not familiar with the Bay Area, Cal is on the other side of the Bay Bridge, but it's not that far away. That's where Colin Morikawa and Max Homa went to school. And Colin, more recently, from what I've heard, Cal played a ton of Harding Park the last 2 years that Colin was at Cal. So I think someone will ask him this week. My guess is Colin's played at Harding Park 20, 25 times at least. Certainly in the last couple of years, he's played there a ton. So maybe that's a pick this week.
Yeah, I mean, another guy, I think both of them, right? Homa, really good 2 weeks ago. Morikawa, looking at his I mean, he didn't start that fast, 70-71. You know what he did over the weekend in Memphis, guy? 67-66. They say he's arguably already one of the best iron players in the world. There is, to me, a familiarity, and he's been a more recent just Cal attendee than Max Homa, who I think last was in school in 2013. There is a familiarity just playing in this weather. And you know Cal, I'd say, has a lot of similarities in weather to just South San Francisco. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Just overcast, cold, windy, consistently pants weather. That has to benefit this guy. And who knows how many times he's just not just played there with the team, but just being one of those courses as a college guy that I'm sure he can get on. It's not very far away. He's had to have played it relative to the rest of the tour. It might not even be close, right, over the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. Like I said, I think from what I heard, they played there once a month his last 2 years at Cal. So
that was just as a team. I mean, who knows how often he went out there just with his friends.
That's why I say conservative 20 to 25 times he's played, right? What about, so these are, California guys. We talk, Torrey Pines is another course where California guys win. There haven't been a ton of PGA events at this course, but California guys do succeed at it. Phil's played really well.
Played well historically at Pebble Beach, which I would say has very similar weather to here. I think it's a right to left golf. There are several tough holes on this golf course, at least for amateurs. I don't know. We'll find out for the pros, that play a draw for a right-hander and a cut for a left-hander. And I'd say, well, the first two guys that come to my mind are Bubba Watson. The Masters is a right to left golf course. He's done well there. And Phil, Masters, had some success. I think the two of them, combined for 5 Masters. I think both those two guys, Phil, you have to be pretty bullish on after last week. T2 guy, 50-year-old. It has to be the greatest performance of a 50-year-old in the history of golf. I'm pretty confident on that, especially given the field. I'd say him and Bubba Watson. It would not surprise me to see one of them. I'd say top 15, top 20. Phil, probably a bigger discrepancy, right? If you told me Phil misses the cut by 5 shots, I'd believe you. If you tell me he's in the mix Saturday afternoon, I'd believe you.
I do wonder, can he stack up? Can he just continue to stack up these really good performances at 50? But
he is in good shape.
He is. He's in great shape.
He's lost a bunch of weight.
Yeah. When we played there 2 months ago, we got off the course and said Bryson DeChambeau is going to be a great pick here because the course is not overly long. The rough is going to be thick for everybody. The fairways are so narrow that it's just you have to expect that a lot of people are going to be in this rough. Bryson's going to have the most room for error because he'll have the shortest distance on some of these second shots. I don't quite feel that way, John, after watching the last couple of weeks. It is going to take a lot of patience, right, to play this course because there are some long par 4s, no doubt, but there's a lot of corners that I think you can feel like you can cut. And then you get caught up in the rough. Maybe you get caught up in a cypress tree. So I do think patience is going to be key here this week. What do you think of Bryson and maybe even then Webb, who won an Olympic across the water?
To me, when I think Bryson, I think corner cutter.
Yeah.
I think hand me the driver. And when we played a couple months ago, the thing that really jumps out was how tight the fairways were. And I had read after that they had cut it down, somewhere around 60%. The fairways are really, really small. And then the rough, which I don't know if you just compare whatever the rough comes Thursday to when Webb won it at Olympic, which Olympic's always extreme, and just U.S. Opens are in general. The rough felt U.S. Open for, I think me and you both agreed. Like you went in there, you're just going to lose your ball. Now these guys are going to have spotters, but it is going to be, you are penalized dramatically for missing the fairway. I don't like Bryson as much. And I understand early on he was pretty accurate hitting that ball. It feels like the last couple of weeks he's got a little wayward. And to me, you can just be a tiny bit off at this course and be screwed, let alone Bryson that a little hook or a little slice. I mean, he is in major trouble because he's hitting it so far. It's probably why Webb, if you throw out the last couple of weeks and take a deep breath, you'd go, well, he'd have to be a pretty big favor coming into this course, given that he had so much success there, given how his game is, how well he played at the restart. To me, he's kind of tailor-made for this golf course.
I do wonder, last thing, John, and for any locals that have played it, when we played 2 months ago, the greens were not very fast. They were not Olympic-style, super fast greens. I'll be interested to see if that's changed much by this weekend.
You're out on Bryson, though, as the favorite.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
I agree.
All right. But you say all that, and you're like, if we get to Sunday and there's Bryson because he's just pounding the ball on the course.
It's one issue I have with probably the betting favorite right now, which is Justin Thomas. He can get a little squirrely off the tee. Now, if he was smart, he could hit 3-wood off every tee and probably win the golf tournament. Now, we know those guys don't do that, but he plays that crazy sometimes. He's pointing right, know?
Yep.
And that's where Webb doesn't really have that problem.
No. All right. Let us know what you think of the video in the comments. Who do you like? And give the video a like. And get in the game.